Hi everyone, this is P. Panneer, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Computer Science, Kamadin Arts and Science College, Sathimangalam. Today I'd like to be discuss something on C++ function parameters. C++ function. First of all, we should know something about the function. So a function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. You can pass data known as parameter into a function. The functions are used to perform certain actions and they are important for reusing code. So the once you are going to be running a function, you can send a group of data in the thing. You can execute the block of data to at your time. That's a concept of behind that in your function. So how to create a function? So already in C++ having a predefined functions such as we know very well about the default function as main, which is used to execute code, but you can also create your own function to perform certain actions. So that function should be your name. That's your ways you can able to create your own functions. So the name of the function can be end with the open and close parenthesis. So for an example, that syntax void my function open and close parenthesis, then your code to be here. So here my function as your function name. Here that's the thing. So how we are going to be passing the parameters and arguments? Informations can be passed to function as a parameter. Parameters act as a variable inside the function. So the parameters are specified after the function name inside the parentheses. We can able to add many parameters as we need. It's with the separation of comma. In that syntax, we can know something here right now. Void function name, then what are the parameters we are going to be passing over there with the separation of comma we have to mention to here. That's the concept here. So for an example, let me go to the next example. We are using that f name as the parameter, my function as function name. So in this example, my function is the function name, and I'm going to be passing a parameter as f name. That's the first name, the short form as f name. The string I had to be declared. So here, whenever I'm going to be executing that main function, so I call that my function. Now I'm passing the parameter as Lima and my function Jenny and Anja. So these are the things which is I had to be going to be passing through the fname variable, the string variable. It's to be passed to my function. That's the thing here. So here the parameter is passed to the function. It is called an argument. So from the example above, the f name is the parameter while Liam, Jenny, and Anja are the arguments. So next, C++ default parameters. What is meant default parameter value? So once you have to be setting the parameter as default, that means it's never changed. Whenever you are not assigning, you are not passing the parameter, it's automatically getting that default parameter value. From this example, you are seeing that void, that's a my function as the function name, string, I had to mention the string name as country, which is default value as Norway. So I'm going to the main function right now. My function, I had to passing a parameter as Sweden. My function, then India as the parameter. And my function, I did not pass any parameters here right now. And again, there is a my function I'm calling here. I'm sending the value as USA. From that output, here there is a thing I had to be simply saying says already that is a default parameter value. That's a Norway is automatically to be assigned this my function here. So when you run this program, you are getting that result over here. That's a thing called as C++ default parameter. Okay. C++ multiple parameters. The multiple parameters here inside the function we can able to add many parameters at the time whatever we needed there. So from this example, void my function string f name as one parameter, int age as a second parameter. So here in that my function we are going to be passing it two parameters over there. So in that output we are getting as a first name and the age. So the both are our output here we are getting from the one single function. So in that main function you are going to be getting when we are called that my function. So we are passing the two arguments Liam 3, my function Jenny 14, my function So these are three functions which is having a three different type of arguments which is to be passing over in your multiple parameters. So that we are working with multiple parameters, the function call must have the same number of arguments as there are parameters, and the arguments must be passed in the same order. So next one, C++, the return keyword. So the return values, the void keyword used in the previous examples indicates that the function should not return a value. So whenever you're mentioning before that function name as void, there is nothing to be returned. That's the concept of in your void. So instead of that, we are going to be using any data type, integer, string, character, whatever it may be. So it can be written here, particular data type, what you have to mentioning before that function, which can be written there. That's the concept of return keyword. From this example, int my function integer x. There is an one argument passing to the my function. So the my function has a return type of integer. So return 5 plus x. So the x, if I am to be passing that main function as the value as 3, right now the output is getting as 5 plus 3 as 8. The output can be getting as an 8. So the return type as here as integer. So the integer value can be written over there. Okay, next one, C++ functions pass by reference. So in that example, the previous pages we are going to be using a normal variables instead of the parameters over there. Here right now we are going to be passing a reference of the function also. This can be used to change the values of the argument. For an example, void swap numbers integer ampersand x comma integer ampersand y. So that's the thing address of. So it's a reference value or mentioning as x and y is the reference values. Here inside the function we are going to be using z equal to x, x equal to y, y equal to z. Simply we are going to be applying that swapping operations there. So from this example, integer main function, so int first number as 10, the second number as 20. So there's two variables having a 10 and a 20. So before that swapping, we are getting the result as 10 and first number as 10 and second number as 20. This will be displayed. Now I'm going to be applying that swap numbers. So whenever I'm calling that function as swap numbers, what happened? The arguments, that's the thing 10 and 20. So that's a reference value which is to be passed over through that swap number function. Then the values of x and y it is to be interchanged right now. So after the swapping operation, you're getting as the result right now. That's a concept. Next one, C++ array to function. So passing array as a function parameter, we can pass arrays to a function. So how we are going to be, so the array values which is easily possible the passing through the parameter list. What we are saying that very initially, the basic things is to be applied same as in your array also. The same concept is to be followed here. For example, for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So there is a loop which is to be executing. Whenever the executing, the my number I is to be incremented automatically. The incremental value which is to be assigned to the my function, which is the concept of in your passing array to the function. Okay, thank you to all. I hope you had to be understood those things. Thank you.